I am Tony Bellew and you are watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. Me, Baz. Jake's here again because everyone loves him. Everyone loves Jake.
What's a bit of Jake?
Way to go, Jake! On the that's what it's like on the comments. Way to go! And someone has tattoos and stuff.
Oh yeah. I got called a pie jack lookalike though, dude.
A what?
Chris pie jack.
Oh, pay jack.
Pay jack, sorry.
Pay
To be fair,
Hang on. I don't.
Nothing
like him.
Does anyone ask you for any nudes yet?
Nudes?
Well, that's what they do.
That's what they do for kids.
Pay jack nudes.
Hashtag pay jack nudes.
Nah, not yet. Not yet. I'm not
If you want to see Jake nude, just message him. Don't message us.
Or go to one
I'm
of
not
the...
saying full rent, but yeah.
Oh.
Not yet.
On that's it.
Doesn't actually... No, doesn't have any shares in the company. Yeah. Comes on, ruins our shit. Come on and ruin the show. That's my job.
Yeah, so
literally.
I've overstepped the line.
Right, a bit of a serious, well, some may say serious discussion this week. We've had an email off the club regarding tickets. It says with over 32,000 season tickets sold, including a record-breaking number of hospitality memberships. This is Everton's highest ever total at this stage of the club's season campaign, with 5 weeks still to go before the new Premier League system season kicks off. These numbers are 15% and an incredible 23% up on the club's 5-year average. Loads of new season tickets, blah blah blah, increased by 54% over the same period. 25% more kids and junior season tickets. So these are all boss things at the moment. Basically, what it means is there's over 32,000 season tickets sold, and they're allowing for 3,000 away fans. There'll be less than 5,000 seats available per game, and don't forget, a lot of them will be restricted views. So that's an interesting sort of new dynamic for Everton, and this covers a lot of things. But you know, Jake, you know what? I'll start with you. I know you've got a season ticket that you share with your brother.
Yeah.
Now, that's not brilliant, especially when it comes to trying to get semi-final tickets.
I did end up going to the semi-final though, so it's not too bad.
No, but this would be easier to ask you because obviously this doesn't affect me and Baz directly. Yeah. But how do you think that's gonna affect you? You know, if you really want a ticket for a game, and you know your brother's got the season ticket that game.
I just have to make sure I have to be on my computer like 8:30 at least. Only cause when I bought this semi-final tickets, I'm used to buying gig tickets, and you have to avoid the online queue. So I thought that might be the same when buying the semi-final ticket. So obviously I went at 8:30, signed in details, stuff like that. And it only had 10 minutes to wait online order for it. So obviously when I purchased them, I thought I'll go back on them. There was a 2-hour online queue for it. So it was a bit worrying for other fans might not have internet access, or just had to queue up outside, and it's just people can't afford the season ticket, so you like to go an odd game, but they might not be able to anymore. You know what I mean? People want to come over from Australia for Christmas, don't they, and stuff like that. So I don't know.
It's not let's be honest, it's not the worst situation to be in the world. There's a Baz and listen, the reason Everton have let's put our cards on the table here. The reason that Everton have sent us this is basically because they've got the likes of, for Everton, which is obviously a membership, and it gives you 3 to 5 days. Now they'll be looking to push people in that direction, won't they? But what if 5,000 people join up to that? You've got 3 days more on the general public, but again, that's not cast iron, is it?
No, but if you're a member of that, and that's the kind of conditions that you get and the perks that you get for being a member, then people who maybe can't afford to go, you can't afford to buy season tickets, because listen, it's tough, it's a lot of money, and the times we're living in and everything else, football sometimes has to drop down a peg or two if you got to feed your kids. everything else, you know, football has to take a back seat to a certain extent. So maybe that's a way to kind of, I wouldn't say guarantee a ticket, but certainly a way to give you a leg up on somebody else would be to be part of this membership scheme.
I mean, that's
so,
20 quid. I mean, is 20 quid too much to just be giving you the ability of getting priority over other people to get tickets?
No, but if you're looking at it, if you can only go to 5-10 games, say, a season, then it's £2 extra a game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you'd look at it that way. You'd have to look at it that way, wouldn't you? If it's gonna guarantee you 10 matches a season, then it's probably worth.
Is that £20 a month? Is it? Yeah.
No, £20 membership.
Oh, membership is it? Yeah.
Yeah, £20 membership. Yeah.
So across a season,
I don't think it's
20
that bad.
quid.
20, like £20 right now. It's not like it's not bad either. As you say, if you go like 10 games, it's only actually £2. As you say,
I
plus
think
the
it's
priority as well, isn't it? So
it's £10 for juniors, completely free for anyone between newly born to 4 years old. And obviously there's a lot more benefits. It's not just tickets and stuff.
No.
But I mean, you look at all this. I mean, Liverpool. I think Liverpool's is 25,000. They've capped theirs at. Now, obviously, they have a lot of other ways and means of selling their tickets, whether it be through.
You think with that 47-year waiting list, though, they'd have extended.
Well, that's what. But this is where it comes in. That's why they've got a 47-year waiting list, though, because they've capped the season tickets at 25,000. And I know there's people out there who've suddenly got access to that wait off the waiting list this year because of the new stand. But it's an interesting balance, isn't it? I mean, I know not everyone can afford season tickets, but luckily enough, the club have put in different ways of getting the season tickets, like the direct debits, which I get my one. It's really, really helpful because I'd struggle to pay it all up front. But it does leave an interesting. It's going to be very, very hard to get tickets for Goodison this season, and I know a lot of people are going to have to get that in their heads. People who normally might go, I'll go this game and I'll go that game. And just something you were mentioning there, like Australia, people coming from Australia. I think it's going to be really important that if people are coming from other countries, that they need to join their local like affiliate. Yeah. Because I know affiliates get a lot of tickets, not a lot of tickets, but they get access to tickets. Like anyone coming over from America, if you're affiliated to Everton, Baz representing there, but if you're affiliated to like the likes of Everton USA and you go through them, you're probably going to get a ticket, because at the end of the day, Everton are not going to want people coming 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 miles, whatever, to come over and be struggling for the tickets. Because I don't know about you, but I get messages all the time of people saying, oh, I'm coming over from so and so, do you think I'll be alright for this ticket, or when do these tickets come out? And normally I'd say, listen, you'll be fine, don't worry about it, alright, it was a derby or Man United or something like that, you'll struggle. But now I can't say that to people. Now people are going to have to be on the ball. They're going to have to go through whoever their local club affiliate is, or be in one of these memberships. Now, whether you agree with that or not, you're going to have to.
Well, I think when I worked at the club, it was capped a few seasons. We capped the season tickets at 26, I think it was, or 27, and people were like, well, why are you capping it? And it was obviously to create more tickets, make more tickets available on a match day. But I suppose from the club's point of view, they want as many people in that ground every other week, and they want to know what they're working with. This, from a pure corporate point of view, or from a business point of view, that creates a demand for tickets. If you've got less to sell, it creates a buzz around. It becomes the hottest ticket in town and everything else. And the way Everton are going at the moment, but even though a lot of people don't believe this is happening at the moment, Everton are moving forward as a club. There's money there, they're going to spend money, they're going to bring better players in, it's going to snowball. The buzz, the excitement, everything else is about to kick off around Everton. And that's why, if you can't afford the season ticket,
one thing I would say as well, and the people, you know, have stressed this to me, is that actually the season tickets were rolling on very nicely under Roberto Martinez for next season, which seems very, very odd. But
doesn't with Everton.
No, but
sell out every
there's a real buzz about the Premier League this season, isn't it? Overall, and as you say, it is going to be very. I think it's, you know, I expect most games to sell out, and if they don't sell out, it'll probably because of the because of
The
the
away fans again.
no. Well, I mean, I was going to say because of the seats behind big pillars.
I still think.
But do you think Everton should reduce those? You know, do you think Everton should get, because there are some ungodly bad seats in Goodison Park.
Just have a look at A160 in the main stand.
Yeah, we've got to be very honest here and say there are some absolutely shocking seats at
I
Goodison
went
Park.
to the Man City game where we got beat 2-0 start of the season. Upper Gradus on the left. I was literally sat in the corner, so I had knees pointing that way, yeah, and it was just a big like pillar in front of the other side of the goal. I was like, I spent £42 on this ticket.
Do you think those
Like,
tickets should be like put down?
We sat in the press box over years ago where they couldn't see the goal. Couldn't see the goal in the Gladys seat. We all know what.
Didn't pay though, to be fair. We didn't pay, so you know
It was
a privilege.
It was a friendly.
Baz, the comments.
No, I'm saying it wasn't about. It's not about that. I used to have to go round and put stickers.
Well, what
on
about that? Don't you think though? Do you think that those seats should be like put down to like a £15 maximum? Because I do. I think if you've got you've got a big pillar in front of you, and I know Everton have reduced the tickets, and it's a trend this season for most Premier League to reduce the tickets, and the away tickets are obviously capped. So that's why they're expecting most away games to be sold out as well. Don't forget that cap. Do you think that those... Because I certainly think that if you've got a big poster in front of you, you shouldn't be paying more than £15. I mean, obviously you're there and you get all the atmosphere and all that, but you can't see the game.
I think the fear or playing devil's advocate, people would say, well, they just buy that cheap ticket and just go and sit in someone else's seat and take the chance.
But they can't though, can they?
Well, only if they're the only ones available at the end.
No,
What you'd have to remember is if you want to... No, listen, I work.
But if
you're selling tickets in the Gladys Street, then obviously you come up and go whatever for 20 quid. A180 or something in there.
But there ain't going to be that many available.
No, there's not going to be that many available. They definitely should be reduced, no question about it. No question about it. Maybe even half price, but there might be a reason why you can't go to half price with that.
I don't agree with that. I think you can do what you want. It's their company. If they want to make it £15, they can make it £15.
I think half price should be fair.
Alright, well, half price. Split the difference. Jesus Christ.
Just cheaper. Just
cheaper, yeah. Just cheaper. Do you know why? Do you know why though? Do you know why? Just to sell the ground.
Yeah.
Just to say the ground.
Well, what I was going to say was people still buy. I know people still buy them anyway. People will still buy them regardless, right? Because I don't mean with the half price or the full price. People will buy them anyway because what'll happen is if that buzz continues and Everton do bring in X, Y, and Z, and Everton start to get that momentum going, people want to be part of it. People want to be part of it. Now, all right, you might spend half a game going, who had that shot then? Because you can't see it the other way.
Yeah, but don't
people want to be part?
Don't take advantage though. I mean, let's be honest. We have.
Listen, mate, go and have a look at like Liverpool.
But that's the point, isn't it? That's the point.
They're all at a lot of ground.
But that's the point. And if Everton want to,
this is only going to be a 3-year problem. But
don't start saying stuff like that. Do not start saying stuff like that. Why are we removing the posts in 3 years?
We'll be sat on the side of the Royal Mersey.
Do you hear that noise? That's Baz painting himself into a corner.
I'm not I'm just saying.
No, but
potentially it's a 3-year.
I would definitely have the restricted views for like 15 quid. Don't take advantage of people. Or like maybe sell them last as well.
No,
don't make them available for the rest of the season, which is probably what they do anyway. So I mean, it's going to be tough, as you say. You've got Forever Everton, 20 quid. Other benefits, you probably get a birthday card or something, I don't know. But go and have a look. But if you're someone who only goes to the match, and I know a lot of people already will buy them anyway. It's a good way. But then the other thing, the other talking point that we must bring up, it's not the elephant in the room. It's the fellow with the horns and the tail and the big pitchfork. StubHub. Everton have just but Everton have just renewed done recently a new deal with StubHub, but last season or whatever. A lot of people asking why are you doing it? It's not a wholly loved system. Let's be honest. It's had its critics. I'm one of them. But I will say people give us a lot of feedback and go, well, actually. I sold my ticket for like 25 quid. So you're going to get a lot of that this season as well. You're going to get people who are going to be out there selling their ticket for face value or face value plus the admin charge, which is, I suppose, is fair enough. That person's got to make their money back, or even less for some undesirable games. Now, the club have assured me there's a £150 cap on the tickets, which I still think is ridiculous. I'd
want to sit next to Ronald for 150 quid.
I think personally they should have just said, no, it's face value plus the price of your, whatever. I don't think it should be £150. I still think that causes problems. That can cause a divide, but at least it's not the stupid prices we were seeing. That just causes problems. Causes problems on like social media when people start outing people and that kind of thing. But
why are you selling it for 150 quid?
Because you're trying to take advantage of someone else.
That's what I mean. If you're an Evertonian and you can't go to the match, I've got no problem with face value plus if it's a booking fee or whatever.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That to me is normal, legitimate. Selling it for 10 more even, I'm certainly not having 3-4 times the price of what your ticket is. So to me, that's scandalous. I think that's something the club really should have to. They should look at that, because I don't know what StubHub get out of it. And I don't know whether they get commission or they get a flat fee. But see, if they're getting commission, then you can understand why it's 150 quid, because they're not arsed, are they? They're like, well, we're getting 25% of that 150 or whatever, or 10% or whatever, 5%, I don't know. But maybe I think the club should look again at that and say, no, actually the cap is going to be whatever. Because if it does become a situation where no one can get tickets, then that 150 will be used a lot this season, and people will pay it. And I think that needs to be looked at. I've got no problem with StubHub if it's face value. The club have told me that it's a system that they just simply couldn't run themselves. That's fair enough.
I have to take that as their word, because I don't know how these things work. I know there's a lot of, like, if you go on Twitter, you'll see a lot of people selling the tickets. And actually last season, I thought it become a bit of a piss take with the away tickets, where people had the points, were buying them and were selling them on, and were just doing it all the time, and we're just basically stopping other people going on the away games on their own. You know, they were creating their own little market, and I think that was a bit of a piss take out there. And people do it all the time, and I know they do. You see it all the time on Twitter. Yeah. So I think that needs to be eliminated, but it's not going to be eliminated with a £150, cap.
It's so much, isn't it, for 150 quid? You know what I mean? Like, imagine people buying that last season during the Masters era. You know what I mean? 150 quid just watching Arsenal just trample over you. Like, it's...
Well, you're an idiot if you pay it.
That's what I mean.
Season, but
people are desperate. Like, people will get desperate for it.
But it's supply and demand, isn't it? It's supply and demand.
That's what I mean.
And can understand if it happens all the time, doesn't it, Baz? You've done it yourself, where you go on holiday early on in the summer, kids' holidays, you only get Everton to play one of those games, and you think, well, look, throw it on StubHub and get me price and me ticket back. Whether it be 25 quid because you've got a season ticket, or 30 quid, it happens. But we don't want to see it being abused, because it could be a very, very useful system. And actually, it is a useful system, again, if it's used properly. But it's the fact that it gets used poorly that leads to all the horror stories.
But that happens, doesn't it? You're not going to be able to combat that. The club, for whatever reason, they've asked for £150. I don't know whether that's the kind of minimum, maximum, if that makes sense, that you can ask for. I don't know. I'm more disappointed than the people who were doing it. But then again, it's the same thing in the past, where people would buy, when derby matches would go on general sale or whatever, people would buy them and then sell them outside for X amount. Yeah. Sorry, you were keeping it up, lad.
Been up since 5 o'clock.
And that's the problem, isn't it? So it's a difficult one. You just got to hope that Blues won't rip fellow Blues off.
Yeah, and it's, as I say, don't listen. I mean, this is not an Everton thing for me. I mean, I'm against any kind of secondary tickets, because I think it's just touting, personally, especially when you see tickets for like gigs and stuff getting sold. Well, they are, and a lot. To be fair, you have the likes of Glastonbury who have made sure there's an ID and a photo thing and all that. They're trying to make sure you can't. I wouldn't expect Everton to go to levels like that, because something like Glastonbury compared to going to the match is completely different. But I just think it would be a sensible move if the club could get rid of all the bad headlines by just saying the cap's 50 quid. Dead easy, wouldn't it? And all the headlines would just disappear because that's all it is. It's
The
just
system in itself is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I suppose if, obviously not charging people like that, but I suppose if you can't go, I mean, I personally, when I'm going all day, just give me a ticket to somebody else, but if you're wanting to, you just want to sell it just to get your money back on the game because you're working, or like you say, you're on a family holiday or whatever, anything can happen, you're unwell, that's great because you can do it quite quickly, but it's no good if people are just bouncing it on. Got a season ticket for the sake of it and they're just going to throw it on at one every single time for the game and see who bites.
exactly. And there has
It's
been
not
talk
good.
in the past that people have told me that they've sat next to a seat all season that's been like, they knew it was a season ticket seat and it had been used now and again because they knew that it was the people were throwing it on StubHub all the time, and I'm sure at other clubs, and I know for a fact at the other local club in the area that does happen all the time, or certainly did before they sort of got a grip of what was happening at their club. So I think if Everton wanted to get rid of, I don't know whether Everton are sort of scared of pushing the StubHub thing, but I think they'd get a lot more joy if they just brought that cap out and silenced a lot of the loudest voices in the room. Dead easy by just saying, listen, the cap is going to be your ticket plus your admin, maybe plus a fiver, whatever, and that would sort it out, and that would get a lot of good press. And I think the club don't need the hassle, but I suppose they've got to negotiate the whole thing with StubHub, and they get a payment off StubHub, so that's going to be another place you can look this season. And I just think it's going to be very interesting. As I say, I think people have got to be very, very aware of things that are going to change this season.
Forward planning.
You've got to keep your eye on the ball, and as I say, if you're coming from abroad, make sure you're going through your affiliates, or Everton USA, Everton Australia fan club. There's loads out there. Now, alright, you've already sort of made mention. What are you looking at me like that for?
Just don't know what you're going to say next.
Nah, that's why it's good though, isn't it? Now, you've already made mention, right, of a new stadium. Now, this is a big question that always gets thrown out. Well, you did, didn't you?
It's not like it's on camera.
No, it's not at all, is it? Now, this is a question that's always been thrown out. Now, if this is coming off one of the worst Everton seasons, and I don't mean just on the pitch, I just mean like from a point of view of like how everyone feels about how everyone was feeling about Everton in May, because it was bad. It was bad. Remember, it was bad. What do you think? If we're looking at building the ground now, what do you think they'd be looking at now and thinking capacity wise? Because people have told us we wouldn't sell. You won't fill a 50. You won't fill a 55. Now we've just seen the West Ham effect, right? We've seen the West Ham effect. They had a small ground until this season. They didn't really fill it too many times. Now they've just sold 52,000 season tickets, which they keep on telling us a lot. They keep on telling us because we're now their new rivals apparently. But if they've sold 52, now obviously their season tickets have been half, but that's something we could look at possibly doing. Of course, they've got their season stadium for nothing, and we're paying for it. So those are the factors. But go on, what do you think?
Capacity wise?
Yeah.
So I honestly I don't know. I think.
Would you go about 60? Would you think? Do you think?
Nah,
with what we've got now and the new ground bounce? Do you think we could get 60?
I'd go about 55 personally.
Okay.
Because I think, I'm not saying we couldn't, and I think maybe potential to expand it if needed be in the future, however easy or difficult that may be. I just think 55 puts us probably about right. I think when Liverpool were mentioning 65, I was thinking they won't fill it, but they would. They probably would, of course they would. But you've got to try and find a balance. It's no good having 60,000 and we get 48,000 every game, because then 55,000. I think the new bounce, the money, the fact that potentially we can compete again creates that interest. I think the problem is with the way Everton were, certainly the way I was feeling, we were just surviving in the end. We were never going to win anything. We would just win a few Premier League games. We couldn't win a cup this year when everyone was crap, and we still had decent players. We still managed to Everton it, didn't we, in the semi? So we were kind of just going along as part of the thing, hoping that 3 or 4 teams would bugger off to the European Super League and they might be able to close the gap. Now, with the money coming in to the Premier League in general, with a new owner who's got big ideas, with friends who've got deep pockets, and it's like a brave new world again. It's as if like we might be able to bridge it a little bit, and that creates
demand.
A demand, and then that demand then means the demands are put back on the club, so then they have to spread that, they have to then start spending the money to try and catch the rest. It creates that forward motion, which I think Everton have been treading water for far too long. So that brings with it new fans. A new stadium brings new fans. Sunderland were getting 16,000, 15,000 at Roker Park. Got a new stadium that held 47,000. When Peter Reid was there, they sold it every week. Now it's dropped back down to 35,000 or something. That's probably the economy and everything else. So I think with Everton we get 38,000 anyway, in a place that's full of obstructive views, and the facilities aren't fantastic. You go to the Docklands, if that's where it's to be, and that's where everybody wants it to be, and you've got money and you've got players who excite the crowd, I think 55 would be about right. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, I was going to ask Jake.
But I'm not asking you.
I was going to ask Jake.
Twist. I agree with that. I think 55 would just do it, because if Everton do move to the docks, it'll be more of a tourist thing as well. Like it won't be just local fans, So I think it'll be like a tourist attraction that people want to go to the game. Like you see with Man City, don't you? It's not just a football stadium full of local fans who want to see the sides, or not just local, just a bit outside the jurisdiction. It'll just be full of people coming just on holiday, like Everton are playing. Why not cruise ships? We'll get loads of cruise ships.
Why not?
Why not? I think 55 just be right. A 60 might be a bit push, because you see it last season, Man City, it wasn't filling it, was it? You know what I mean? Like it might be.
It depends on. I suppose one of the things is.
Well, hang on. What would you say?
80. I'll tell you now. Well, what I would say is corporate. We'd have a lot more corporate.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't include them in a 55 there.
But you do though. You've got to.
Well, like 57 and a half then.
Do Wembley, don't they? Corporate's like 25.
I went to Sunderland, and they've got the boxes all the way round.
That's what I was thinking.
They got the box all the way round.
There.
Painful. I was in one of the boxes.
It's a nice stadium.
You've got Sunderland, most modern stadiums with the boxes all the way round. You can add, I don't know whether they add that onto the attendance or whatever, but you're talking a few thousand people there, aren't you? So you've got that. You've got and companies then, I mean, come on. Imagine the new Goodison, whatever. The Riverside, no, not the Riverside. Whatever, the Mersey Stadium, whatever, I don't know what it would probably be called, like the
Dennis Strachwell-Arcee Stadium.
Yeah, tribute stadium. You've got it on the waterfront, be iconic. You probably have like I can just imagine like them having boxes where it's like the front is onto the pitch and the back is onto like the Mersey and stuff like that. They're amazing. All glass, so people can look out. People can look out and have their dinners and then go into the seats. And
Everton fireworks.
Imagine the skyline.
Every game,
just fireworks.
Every game would be like that. Every game would be like Disney.
Just
fireworks going off.
And as the fireworks explode, it's in the Everton crest. No.
Okay, no. Yeah.
And they go, and it makes the Everton crest in the sky.
It'd be such a good skyline when they see all like the lab building.
But so you've got that.
Like that.
So you've got all that. So you're going to get loads of corporate people coming in to wanting to see this iconic thing. So I think if you can make it, like if someone said, well, we'll build a 55 and it can go up to whatever 60. If it's I mean, listen, I'm not even thinking about football. I'm thinking monster trucks. This is where the real money is. Monster trucks is where the real money
Concerts.
is. We all know that. Monster trucks.
Slide the pitch out. The monster trucks, the boxing, the wrestling, everything in there.
Monster trucks and Celine Dion. Oh, now you're talking. That's it. That would make the stadium on its own.
Disney on Ice. Off the cruise ship.
We'd have the Everton games. You know what's better than the Everton games? Everton games with Titanic theme music.
Human comes out.
That's what it. That's
Yeah,
that's what it was like
when
last
it's just
season.
I know, yeah.
That's what it was like last season when we hit the iceberg. Yes, I'm gonna go. I'd say 60. It's around the number.
60.
But
58,500.
it definitely, whatever Liverpool's is, +1. Do what Spurs have done. Do what Spurs have done with Arsenal's. They've just gone, yeah, one more. Don't care, one more. We're having the biggest stadium.
It's on the roof.
The seat's like the one extra seat is like next to the manager. You have to pay like
the one extra seat is obstructed.
Yeah, for old time's sake.
Just to make sure that you've got the
for old time's sake.
And do that Archibald Leach business in the middle of the stadium as well. Just have a little bit of, see the flag at the match on Saturday at the thing.
No, but there you go. I mean, that's it.
Well,
so
could have X Factor thingies there if it's still going. Then X Factor auditions there and everything in the stadium, isn't it? With the monster trucks, and maybe the monster trucks take them out.
Monster truck.
Well, the Arena just fall apart if you do have that new stadium though on the Merseyside.
Mumma.
The Echo Arena will just fall apart, won't it? Without no idea.
Good revenge.
I'm just saying.
Revenge. Because that should be ours.
That's literally Plan B.
I know, but I'm just saying, like the council will be like, nah.
Not the felt, not like the rapper Plan B or whatever it is.
Listen, I think. Without going off into a tangent, I think the Echo's found its level of its sort of people that perform there. Beyonce's not rocking up there anymore, is she? You know what I mean?
Thingy's there, and Chris Maloney's there. Songs for his now. Stuff.
I just thought it might be just.
When was the last time Coldplay played in the Echo?
Yeah, I know.
But they'd want to play at the new Gooders.
Exactly.
Yeah, they would. I'm just saying.
The class Disney.
Like, it's great to be here at the Dennis Strachler Tribute Stadium. My boy Dennis. Telling you, it's happening.
Who was that? Who was saying it?
That was Bon Jovi.
It just told you it was because you said Coldplay.
No.
I'm sure Chris Martin hasn't sold out that much.
It's great to be here, and I just want to say a big special thank you to Dennis Strachler for the stadium.
Who's this?
What was that then?
This is Chris Martin.
Oh, this is Chris Martin.
This. Yeah.
Again, little LA swang.
Well, it's
just
transatlantic accent, hasn't it?
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of being back in Exeter. No. I think we've gone off slightly here. We've gone off slightly. So yeah, the main thing to take is that it's going to be dead hard to get tickets this season. Yeah, it's going to be dead hard. It's going to be dead hard to get tickets.
But not in the new stadium.
And not the new stadium. Well, no, I hope it is difficult to get tickets in the new stadium. I hope it is difficult.
But we've got a 111-year waiting list at the new stadium.
But that's a discussion for 100. How'd you create 100? What it is if you sign on the day you're born,
you're still not.
And if you have it's a health plan for the rest of your life. if you can avoid, machinery
in dog years.
Divided by 7.
7, yeah. That'd be a crap one. That's only about 9.
I have no idea.
4 to 15, yeah, it's not going to work, is it? 15 will do. Dog years, 111 dog years. There you go.
Okay. So what we've said is it's going to be very hard to get tickets this season. So just be prepared for that. Yeah. If you haven't got a season ticket, and you haven't got a for Everton card, and you know, even I don't even want to talk about corporate stuff, but I'm told that corporate stuff's even
difficult.
Pretty much sold out this season. So
everyone's loving Cameraman.
Everyone's loving a bit of the orange.
A bit of Dutch.
Would I expect it though? Would you just to be like 32,000 tickets after the season we've had though?
I know. That's what's amazing.
That's
the discussion we should have had, but we didn't.
Have we?
So just be prepared. Just be prepared.
Like the Boy Scouts.
For that. Just be
prepared, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. But just be ready for that. It's going to be tough this season to get tickets. So all we're saying is just be prepared. If you're an international fan and you're planning to come over, make sure you get in touch with whoever your supporters club is. Make sure they're affiliated, and I'm sure you can get tickets for them. And just get in there early, because I've had people already telling me that for the Spurs game. It is restricted. It's restricted seats. Basically, it's done. It's over. So if you're watching this, going, "Oh my god, I better go and get my Spurs seat." Right, that's your view for the Spurs seat. Just a big book. So yeah, be prepared for that. I hope we've informed you.
Let me just say a shout out to Joe in the Everton, New York supporters club. Talking of supporters,
I've got one of those t-shirts somewhere, but
I quite like it.
I'm not going to talk about the wash system in my house.
Statue of Liberty and all that.
Boss. I think they've had a new one since then, and the new one's even better.
Well, I like this one.
But if there are new ones and there's new t-shirts, 2 mediums and an extra large, there you go.
I don't need to.
Right, tell us what you think in the comments. Is this going to disrupt your plans? Is this going to make you go out and join a membership scheme? Is this going to make you think that next season you're going to go and get a season ticket? No, the one thing we didn't talk about, there's not going to be any half season tickets.
Yeah. Isn't it, no?
No, because they can't be.
Oh, yeah.
There literally can't be any half season tickets.
It's mad.
But if there is, there's going to be about 4, basically. So there ain't going to be, so half season tickets are gone. So we ain't going to have half season tickets anymore. So all that's gone. So
your Christmas presents and that.
Yeah. So let us know. Tell us in the comments.
Seat, innit? Cuban's just going to have that seat. He's going to manage outside the stadium, isn't he?
Cheers, Jake. So tell us.
Manage the stadium.
It's very warm. What have you been? Where's that? So tell us, are you going to get a season ticket next season? Is this going to, whatever happens, are you going to push for a season ticket next season? Or are you going to join a membership? Is this going to change the way you go to the match? Are you annoyed that you can't go to the match? I don't know why you would, but, you know, should we sell so many season tickets? Should we leave more open to the general public?
What capacity should the new stadium be?
That's the big one. What's your capacity? Does this mean we're going to get, like, you know, jumbo bowl kind of situations? Basically, can we host SummerSlam?
Monster truck
at the Dennis Strachlarsi Stadium. Can we attract the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's all we want to know. Can we have NFL games? Would you like NFL games at the new stadium?
MLS games as well. The 35th MLS game.
Whatever. Give us your thoughts on that. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll catch you later.